Maria Zakharova, spokeswoman of the Russian Federation, Russian Foreign Ministry, commented on the information that was published in Hungarian media about false flag operations that Kyiv regime is planning, right? And let me read for you statement that was made by Maria Zakharova. So Maria Zakharova on Kyiv's plans to conduct false flag operations in Romania and Poland. And I will just go through her statements. Today, several Hungarian media outlets, and this comment comes from yesterday, I believe. So today, several Hungarian media outlets reported on Zelensky's plans to carry out sabotage in Romania and Poland with the aim of blaming Russia. Thus, Glevit's incident is being prepared in Bankova with the goal of creating a casus belli for a war between Russia and NATO. According to the available information, the Kyiv regime's plan is as follows. Number one, repair several downed, intercepted or captured Russian drones. Second, equip them with the combat lethal elements. Third, send drones controlled by the Ukrainian specialists disclosed as Russian drones to major NATO transport hubs in Poland and Romania. Fourth, simultaneously conduct a disinformation campaign in Europe to blame Moscow for everything. Or fifth, ignite an armed conflict between the Russian Federation and the NATO. To carry out this provocation on September 16, Russian Giran drones were already delivered to Yavo River training ground in the western Ukraine, where the International Center for Peacekeeping and Security of the Hetman Petro Sahadichny National Academy is located. They were previously repaired in Lvov at the Lorter factory. So quite specific informations here, dear friends, quite specific informations that several Giran drones, for example, Russian Giran drones that were intercepted by Kyiv regime's forces were rebuilt and transferred to a specific area, right, to use them in these false flag operations. As Hungarian, and this information, by the way, is coming from Hungarian media, right? As Hungarian journalists write, the reason for Zelensky's actions is simple. The armed forces of Ukraine are suffering a crushing defeat. The army's route is no longer at their tactical level, but is taking on a strategical character. If all this is confirmed, then we must admit, never in modern times has Europe been so close to the start of the World War III. And this is, of course, dear friends, a big deal. This is, of course, big deal because I already said before, Zelensky and his associates don't take even a single step when it comes to escalation without receiving authorization or even orders from their Western masters, first of all from London. And therefore, if this false flag operation will go ahead, that means London, globalists and globalist-controlled regimes in the collective West, first of all, British aristocracy and British political class, is pushing for this next phase of escalation. And I did spoke about this next phase of escalation that seems to me personally inevitable for how long now. And as time goes by, we have more and more indicators that something big is about to happen, right? Globalists are desperate, by the way. Globalists are desperate, and out of their desperation, they might go ahead with their not just next phase of escalation, but all sorts of provocations. They are desperate, and right now, dear friends, there was one subscription that was gifted by Viper, premium subscription on Rumble channel. So I will highlight, of course, this during the question time. But thank you, Viper. Thank you, Viper. I will say that now. What else, dear friends? I have bookmarked. Well, aimed this mass hysteria over the presence of Russian drones incursions across the Europe. NATO is beefing up its military presence in the Baltics, according to Reuters. Brussels sends an air defense frigate and other assets to the region. And by the way, as a reminder, there was zero evidences that links the drone sightings to Russia. And latest story is in Denmark, isn't it? For the last several days, there are constant some situations with their alleged drones around the airfields, military bases, and stuff. No evidences of drones being there. No evidences to which side these drones belong to. Nothing. Just pure speculations on the media, right? And airports in some cases were actually shut down. But yet again, how we know that this is not a false flag operation and these airports were not shut down by authorities based on these false flag narratives? We don't know this, right? And of course, for the next phase of escalation, NATO needs whatever globalists and globalist control regimes in collective West want whatever military assets they can bring closer to Russia, right? And they are using any excuse to further increase their military presence in the Baltics and also on the borders with the Russian Federation, either in the Baltic Czechoslovakian states, so-called states, or in Poland or Romania. That's how it is, right? Also, dear friends, let me continue with this report. RT is reporting that Orban, Prime Minister of Hungary, revealed what he told Trump about the Russian oil. So Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban told the US President Donald Trump in a recent phone call that his country's economy would plummet almost instantly if it stops receiving Russian oil and their gas. And according to reports, by the way, I mean, Hungary's GDP might drop 4% shortly after this country will be forced to buy energy sources, more expensive energy sources from other countries. 4% drop in the GDP, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. It will take years to recover from that, isn't it? So this is serious stuff. And according to reports, Orban refused to cut cooperation with the Russian energy sector, although, by the way, Brussels have a response on that. According to reports, soon European Commission may come up with their tariffs on Russian oil and their gas. High tariffs that will make Russian energy just too expensive for neither Hungary or Slovakia or any other country, by the way, for that matter, in Europe, that still are buying oil and gas through pipelines or LNG. And when it comes to LNG, by the way, you might be surprised, or some members of our community could be surprised, but France is the biggest buyer of Russian LNG, liquefied natural gas. And there is Netherlands not far away, and Spain, and many other countries there, right? And when it comes to Viktor Orban, dear friends, he commented on a recent escalation between Budapest and the Kyiv regime, online escalation and diplomatic row. So Hungary is a member of the NATO and the EU. Ukraine would have collapsed long ago without the support of these two organizations. President Zelensky, with all due respect, stop harassing us. Viktor Orban commented on attacks on Hungary by Kyiv regime. I think quite a weak response from Viktor Orban. I mean, please stop harassing us, sir. I mean, Viktor Orban, seriously? You think that's the language that you're going to talk to those mass murderers in Kyiv? And you think this language will will strengthen your positions? Come on, man. You cannot be serious. Foreign Minister of Hungary was much more strict, by the way, Peter Szijjártó, right? And he said Zelensky is losing his mind, for example, which is true. Let me give you some some details on this reporter from RT. Hungarian Foreign Minister Peter Szijjártó has issued a sharp rebuke of Vladimir Zelensky, claiming that Kiev has become obsessed with the Budapest and is imagining threats that do not exist. Zelensky alleged on Friday that Hungarian drones had violated Western Ukrainian airspace, suggesting they may have been conducting reconnaissance on the industrial potential of Ukraine's border areas. President Zelensky is losing his mind on his anti-Hungarian obsession, Szijjártó, Foreign Minister of Hungary, wrote on X, in response, adding that he is now starting to see things that aren't there. Ukrainian Deputy Foreign Minister Andrei Sybiga fired back at Szijjártó, stating that no amount of your attacks on our president will change what we and everyone see. We are starting to see a lot of things, Peter, including your government's hypocrisy and the moral degradation, open and covert work against Ukraine and the rest of Europe, serving as a Kremlin-lucky Ukrainian diplomat wrote. Szijjártó also accused Kiev of pursuing an anti-Hungarian policy after Ukraine declared the three senior Hungarian military officials persona non grata. Early on Friday, relations between Hungary and Ukraine have been tense for years, by the way, and I will say for over a decade, right? Because as I said earlier in the Turkey regime, these Ukrainian Nazis and the fascists, by the way, are, of course, mostly focused on harassment of the Russian speakers, and they have banned, by the way, Russian language, native language for majority of their residents on Kiev-controlled territory. At the same time, they were not any more pleasant to Hungarians, ethnic Hungarians. And they are harassing ethnic Hungarians too. And just recently, you remember the story during their attempt to forcefully mobilize ethnic Hungarian father of two kids were killed, beaten to the death, by the way, by this Zelensky's mob that kidnaps people on the streets. And Budapest reacted very strongly on that instance. So yes, I mean, relationships between Budapest and Kiev is getting more and more hostile, and I think at one point Hungary's leadership will say, "No, what? Enough is enough," and they will launch their militaries and their security services to secure at least Transcarpathia region, where vast majority of ethnic Hungarians are living. It's only a matter of time, by the way. It's only a matter of time, and Hungary will most definitely reclaim Transcarpathia, that used to be part of Hungary, by the way, before First World War.
Hello everyone, I hope you find informative and useful this short clip from main news update, and if so, please click that like button and leave some commentary just about anything. It might help to deal with the algorithm and reach wider audience. And if you like my work in general and want to support to save this media project, you can assist through several ways. You can donate to this project through PayPal platform or Boosty, also with the crypto currencies, or you can subscribe to my Patreon page and page on Boosty, where I have quite a lot of extra content on regular basis. All the links are on this video in description box and in the pinned comment. And of course, many thanks to everyone who already helped and continues to support. Thank you.